Come on, TV, give me some of that sweet, sweet pep.
Jet's a great favourite, a gymnast, dancer, presenter and a guitarist.
Where are we going to send them? The steps of woe! Hey! Steps of woe! Steps...
Yes!
Look up there!
That's not possible.
I've seen that guy somewhere. On TV?
Hello Marvel Legends and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behavior. Today the role of David will be played by Doug Jones. That guy can play anything. This is my boredom look. I was like, no, it's all got to come off. So, what are we doing today? It's another comparison show because I'm getting a real kick out of doing these. So, we've done what Hulk is best. We've done which Fantastic Four is best. Today, we are going to decide Hob, Green, Demo, which Goblin is best? Plus slightly darker green. We have four goblins is what I'm saying. So there's a lot to get through. Let's dive straight into it chronologically. Oh, no wait, which one came first? Did Hobgoblin come first? Maybe he did. I'm going to say Hobgoblin first. All my confidence went straight out the window there. So guys, without further ado, I give to you the Hobgoblin. Now, okay, first of all, full disclosure, this is not the correct glider. I have the glider in my fodder box somewhere, but oh my goodness, that is where that glider deserves to be, because that glider is garbage. It is the worst. Also, the reason I'm doing these four goblins, because I mean, let's face it, I have like 20 different types of goblin, from Red Goblin to Toy Biz Demogoblin to Ultimate Goblin. The reason I'm doing these four is because these are all based on the same Dread Knight body. So that makes for a more fun comparison because they are so similar, but in important ways very different. So they're all the four Dread Knight goblins. And this first one is what a way to kick off. Oh my goodness. This guy is in high demand. He's still in very high demand. I had to pay a pretty penny to get him. Totally worth it though. Look at the Hobgoblin sneer here. Some folks don't like this figure. I don't get why. This guy looks the bomb. This is exactly what the Hobgoblin should look like. He is perfect, except for the garbage glider that he came with. This is the glider from the Toy Biz Demogoblin, or the Toy Biz Hobgoblin, sorry, which is just mwah. But I'm not gonna wax lyrical on this because it's not a part of this figure, and I'm doing it from the box, from the Hasbro box, which is best. But still, look at the tattered Hobgoblin cape. Like, this is some really beautiful sculpting that's gone into this. He's got his little Hobgoblin man purse that it's kind of like a Mary Poppins bag. Like, I don't know how you fit so many pumpkin bombs and whatnot in there, but he somehow manages to. But yeah, be it Ned Leeds, Roderick Kingsley, Jason Macendale, whichever Hobgoblin is under this mask looks absolutely, I think this face, perfect. Absolutely perfect. And then you've got the pumpkin bomb as well, which is a little bit translucent. We love the translucency with these. And what was slightly lacking is you can actually see there's a face in the pumpkin bomb, but it's so all one color that a lot of the detail gets lost. And that's something that's like a little bit of a shame, is that it is just one translucent color. The bomb, the fire coming off of it is all the same. But still, what a beautiful start to our goblins. Hobgoblin, like, if you want to talk about setting the standard, this is such a great way to go. Plus, I fished out, yes, I got it. He comes with a sure sign to ratchet up the quality. We have a different head. We have the Demogoblin head. And it's just different enough to make it well worth having. And look, if I was buying Marvel Legends at the time, because I got this one after it initially came out, and yeah, it cost me, but it was so worth it. I'm just like, I love this guy. But yeah, I might have been tempted to buy two, because you've got the Demogoblin head here as well. Now, this is sort of like the partial transition into the Demogoblin, because he's, makes a deal with these demons, the Demogoblin possesses him, and then slowly he transforms into the Demogoblin. There's like one really cool sort of scene where he rips off his Hobgoblin mask and like his human face is all demony. So like this is kind of like the transition period where it's like he's not quite the Demogoblin, but he's not quite Jason Macendale anymore either. So it's a fun middle ground there, and just gives a little bit of extra added value. And if you know me, which you do, I'm all about the added value. So there is Hobgoblin. Oh, what a great start. But let's move on now to Green Goblin. And here is the first Green Goblin of our selection. We have the more modern take on Norman Osborn. And this is just the next step up, I feel, with, they've taken this Goblin design, this Dread Knight body with the scales and the sort of the top with the man purse, and they've just gone the extra mile. Look at the sculpting and colouring in the Goblin mask there. Look at the Goblin eyes. If only you could, if my camera wasn't so bad. I love that you guys still support this show regardless of my terrible production qualities. But this is just absolutely perfect. This is, as I said, this is modern Green Goblin. This is the Green Goblin from the Goblin Wars, Goblin Nation. That's what I was trying to say. When Dr. Octopus was masquerading as Spider-Man, this was the Green Goblin that I most associate with him battling. This is the look that Norman Osborn had, which I feel like is kind of like a more sort of medieval peasant kind of look with that kind of like bonnet. Very Lord of the Rings. I mean, this bonnet head looks straight out of like the orc goblin army, and I think it's so great, a real evil maniacal look. And they fixed the pumpkin bomb, I feel, from what I was saying about the Hobgoblin one all being the same color. Here you can see we've got the orange pumpkin bomb with the green detailing, the green smoke coming from it. That's way more classic Goblin. So yeah, I love this guy. His glider, obviously not as impressive as the Toy Biz one, but it is a massive improvement over the terrible Hobgoblin one. Because the Hobgoblin one, I'm not going to bother to get it out, but it's tiny. It's tiny. It's a teeny tiny little glider. And it's like, really? Is that the best you could do? This glider is not spectacular, but it does the job. It's fine. I would rather, it was just because it's kind of like just one lazily cast piece of plastic. There's no nice shading or detailing or anything. It looks kind of cheap, but we'll get what we got. So here you go. We got Hob, we got Green. Let's move on to Demogoblin. And this for me, this raises the stakes and raises the bar. This is the Build-A-Figure Demogoblin. And just look at this colourful guy gliding in here. Sorry, I'm a bit limited with my arm space and movement. But case in point. But the Demogoblin just steps it up a notch. Look at this beautiful boy here. I mean, they have to go a little bit of an extra mile because he's a Build-A-Figure and he's a regular-ish sized Build-A-Figure. So I'm just trashing the place here. So I think that a lot of people did kind of turn their nose up at the notion of a regular-sized Build-A-Figure because it's like, oh, come on, we want our big, chunky baffs. Now, one thing you would have noticed, the pumpkin bomb immediately fell out of Hobgoblin's hand because the hand doesn't grip it well. It just kind of rests in there, it balances. So that's kind of a point against these hands holding them as well. But what I will say is that at least these goblins have pumpkin bombs, because that's one thing. The Demogoblin did not come with a pumpkin bomb. I pilfered this pumpkin bomb from Jack-O-Lantern, I think, and that's a bit of a shame. It's like, come on, that's almost like having a goblin without a glider. So yeah, that's something that's a bit of a shame, and it counts as a mark against him. But talking about marks for, first of all, look at this Demogoblin face. Oh yeah, this is the best face sculpt of the lot. I will go to my grave. Well, actually, that's quite intense. But still, I will stamp my feet and light a match for this being a badass Marvel Legends face sculpt. I love the dark wash that they put on it that really brings out all the gnarly teeth and the details, those burning red eyes set back there, the white fangs. It looks great. Then, of course, you've got the gnarly claws, and the gnarly claws, again, are so well sculpted. He's got his tatty sort of ragged gloves around them. So much cool stuff going on here. He's got the Goblin belt buckle too. Again, he's just got all this great sort of stuff. He doesn't have the man purse, but I guess Demogoblin didn't have man purse. I mean, he has like infernal fireballs, so you don't really need a purse for those. But yeah, he's got like the belt buckle there as well. And of course, beautiful Goblin flame glider here. This thing is just spectacular. You got the molded looking gargoyle sort of face on there, and just all that bright red burning translucent color. And to top that off as well, you've got an actual stand, a proper Goblin stand. Let me just see. Yeah, I'm gonna reset Green Goblin. Okay, we're back. We've repositioned the goblins, and now it's time for the final piece of the puzzle. We have Hob, we have Dob, we have Green, and now we have... Careful. I'm so clumsy. I'm like, calm down, Dave. You just gotta move a little gingerly. Slow down, you move too fast. Yes, here we go. We have... Oh, careful. We have Retro Green Goblin, the final piece of the quartet, the Fab Four, and here he is, and oh my god! Just when you think that like they can't keep topping themselves by repainting the same old figure, they do. Here we have the vintage Green Goblin, and you can see this guy coming a mile away. Just look at how bright, not translucent, but bright luminous. Is he a luminous green? I think he is. It's just, pops off the shelf. Like, you can see this guy from a mile away. I've put a couple of extra accoutrements on here as well. He's got his finger bang from not Black Cat, from White Rabbit. There you go. I knew it was a colour in an animal. Just wrong colour, wrong animal. And he has his spooter as well. He's got his War Machine blast effect spooting out the back of his glider, which I think like that just works. That works so well. It fits on there really well as well. I put a little bit of blue tack just to hold it in place, but I think like all of those little extras combined, plus of course he has the same pumpkin bomb from the original Green Goblin, and just look at the head sculpt, straight out of the 60s. So, if anyone was lamenting the fact that the first Green Goblin we got was more of a modern one, this guy right here makes up for that with your classic 60s look. The huge big ears, the maniacal grin, even like the big chin, like the big silly Bruce Campbell chin. You've got that here. This is the Green Goblin terrorizing Spider-Man and Gwen Stacy. But, and there's always a but, people were not happy with the eyes. The eyes have it, and this guy has been taking some disco biscuits and having himself a good night, because these pupils are dilated to the max. And a lot of people were like, I don't like the big pupils. Actually, they were more like, I don't like the big pupils, it's not what I want, meh. Sorry, but, come on. It's still good. I like the big pupils. I think it just adds more character to the face. And for me, that's great. And again, he sits far back on the shelf, for me at least anyway. And of course, everything has to be tailored to my specifications because it's my show. And I like the big wide eyes. I think it adds more sort of expression. He definitely looks scarier with small pupils. I've seen some people do some badass customs where they've just, painted over the eyes and then given little dot pupils, and it does look cool. Like it looks a lot more menacing, a lot more scary. I like my big goofy green goblin, and not only do we get that, but again, what's my other sure sign of quality? We get an extra head. Finally, I didn't pop him off the body I've put him on, but we get a Norman Osborn head as well, which has been, a long time in coming, I think. We want to use Norman Osborn for so many different kind of like poses and setups because he's become such a prominent character in Marvel, which I love. He's such a great Lex Luthor type villain. So the Norman Osborn head, not only that, but they even went the extra mile by having an extra collar piece. So when he has the mask off, he's got like an extra collar piece around his neck to kind of like show like his hood's been pulled down. I think that's such a nice little extra touch as well. But yeah, giving us this unmasked head, absolutely terrific. I'm so down with that. So really, like, we just need to answer now, which Goblin is best? And oh my goodness, this is tough. This is really, really tough. I think maybe in the fourth place, it would have to be the Hobgoblin, even though if my house is burning down and I have to grab a few figures, I'd probably grab all four of these before most others because I just love these guys. So this is like the worst of the absolute best. But also his glider is terrible. And that really makes him lose some points. So even though he has an extra head, his glider's disappointing, and that sort of marks him down. So I guess Hobgoblin goes fourth, but even then that pains me because he does have the extra head, whereas the modern Green Goblin does not have an extra head. But at the same time, extra heads are nice, but I only ever display them with like one head. You're not going to have two, so ultimately this Green Goblin ranks higher than Hobgoblin. Now though, especially with the glider, but now though we have the battle for first place, and this is really tough. And I think, honestly, I've got to say, staring at them on the shelf, I enjoy looking at Demogoblin more. He's bright with the bright colours of the glider complement the darker blue of his costume, and then the gnarly monster demon face. This looks cooler on the shelf, I feel, with his jagged hands as well. But classic Green Goblin, the clue's in the title. Classic Green Goblin. I love the classics because, if you'll indulge me, here we have Spider-Man and these two paired up together. If this is not Marvel, I don't know what is. This is just what Marvel Comics is all about. The Green Goblin and Spider-Man. I've got Ultimate Spider-Man here. I think they work really well together because if it's a classic Green Goblin, it's a younger Spider-Man. So it makes sense that you could pose him with the smaller Spider-Man. These two together, yeah, okay. Number one Goblin, retro Green Goblin. Do I have recency bias? Maybe. Am I going to apologize for that? No. I apologize for nothing on this show. But yeah, retro Green Goblin, number one best Goblin, followed up closely by Demogoblin, then of course modern Green Goblin, and finally bringing up the rear we have the beautifully awesome Hobgoblin. Whew, folks, that was my Goblin ranking. Hob, Demo, Green, which one is best? Now we know. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a blast doing that. That was really good fun. Speaking of blasts, stand by for the data blast. That's coming up next. All the amazing things I found on Instagram. Check out the check out the contributors' names. Go follow them on Instagram because the people in this community do amazing work. Speaking of the people in this community doing amazing work, I'm putting together a little Christmas special and I'm excited about it, but I want you guys to be a part of it as well. So if you're feeling a little bit bold, I want you guys to record a 5-second video and send it to me on Instagram. My Instagram address is in the description. And all I want from you is simply you saying, for example, it has to be a 2020 figure. All right? So whatever figure is your favorite 2020 figure, I want you to say, my favorite 2020 figure is Ultimate Spider-Man. Of course, you wouldn't say that because Ultimate Spider-Man is not a 2020 figure. Actually, what am I saying? I've got a 2020 figure right here. My favorite 2020 figure is Retro Green Goblin. And if you do that, I'll splice it into my Christmas episode, and that will be kind of fun. Don't all rush at once. But guys, thanks so much for watching. This has been a blast, and until next time, smash! Keep displaying model behavior.